Well, hello, welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and welcome to another live stream. I will be testing a few things right now, like the chat that you are seeing right here below me. We will be talking about this picture and a couple more topics tonight, and I will be answering your question. Well, we will be doing sort of a Q&A at the end. Maybe this live stream is going to be a bit longer. You can stay if you want. If you want just to stay for the analysis, that's okay. But it's all that it's all what best suits you because you're the protagonist here, my rogues. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video or in the bio of any platform that you're watching from. Maybe you're watching from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitter, or from Rumble. In any of those platforms, you can find the links to my free tips. I'm gonna just test something right now. Okay, headshot. Hey, hello, I have this camera and this. All right, the restream, the chat is working. I just want to see that the chat is not checking things. Good things are coming. Good things are coming. And for those of you that need closed captions, remember that on YouTube and Facebook, you can have closed captions, but you have to activate them manually. You will have them right there. So let's talk about this. Remember that I will be reading your super chats as well. And thank you for your support with your super chats, super stickers, and stars on Facebook. But let's begin. Let's begin tonight with this picture, which I was already talking about yesterday. And well, there are a few things that I wanted to point out that look very suspicious to me, and I wanted to know what do you think. But before, I want to point out to a couple memes. First, this is not a meme per se, but this was published in the Daily Loud, and I don't know if this was Meghan who was requesting this. A U.S. mom has been brutally called out for her ridiculous demands in a babysitter advertisement, well, with thousands of people laughing at the job listing. Babysitter needed ASAP. I need someone to watch my 4 kids. Well, this lady has 4 kids from noon to 6 p.m. and occasional weekends. Must be a great cook, an avid cleaner, over 25 years old, minimum education, master's degree. I don't know. Why? No social media accounts. I don't need my kids seeing that. All right. Well, it's like Meghan herself fits that bill. No drinking, no smoking, not even vaping. Okay. Not tattoos or piercings. Need 5 professional references. Background check and drug test will be conducted. I mean, on site? At home? Oh my God. This job pays $200 a week. Must have own transportation to get to and from while also running all my errands. Oh, what? What is this? What? Yeah, this has to be Meghan. Absolutely. Yeah. Please call Tammy. I guess Tammy is Meghan's code name. But well, and by the way, this image, I wanted to talk about this briefly because someone posted their own handle on Midjourney, the AI, artificial intelligence tool that I use to make images. And I said, what if I just write, how does the Royal Rogue looks like, to see what the artificial intelligence came up with. And it came up with this and that. That's a nice description. He doesn't look like me at all, but it's just a bit of effort to put my face in there. And I like it. I like that. What do you think? Is that the Royal Rogue? So, talking about the topic that reunites us today, well, Autumn, Dimitra Autumn, this picture that I will be analyzing in a minute has been shared by Jen Su 3 times on her Instagram. 3 times, and 4 times on her Twitter account for a total, at least on Twitter, of more than 500,000 views. But the 500,000 views was with the first posting. I think she got excited. Oh my God! This went viral. Everybody wants to see this picture of Meghan. I want to share it 3 more times, and not only that, I am going to also feature Meghan as Meghan Markle's charm in LA shines bright in an absolutely unrelated pic when she was a working royal, because you know that since those days we haven't seen Meghan surrounded by crowds, so that's why they have to resort to that. Those old pictures of Meghan being a working royal. So there's that. Oh yeah, charming LA. That's all those people are what? No. This is clickbait. This is totally delusional. And by the way, one of those pictures that Jen Su shared was had these accounts tagged. You know, you can tag accounts in your image. Like these people are in this image, and she tagged these accounts: Meghan Markle Pics Daily on Twitter, Meghan Markle Archives on Twitter as well, and Page 6. Okay, Page 6 because she took the article that she was sharing the screenshot from Page 6, but the other pics, how odd, right? It's something worth noticing that she went through the trouble to tag in 2 accounts. And you know that these accounts, there are many of them on Twitter, but she tagged these 2 especially. I will be doing some research on these accounts too. Well, unless they have already blocked me. But this is what we got so far. And yes, Methane poses for photograph with TV host Jen Su and US Socialite mother and daughter after group ran into each other in LA. And I found it interesting that the body of this article says it came just hours after it was revealed that she and Prince Harry will head to New York for another royal style engagement. So this is interesting. I'm gonna switch to my super duper tool here, super editing tool, Photoshop. You know that my relationship with Photoshop has been a long time in the making. Hey, why I don't have my trusty connected? Let me see. Oh my God, last night. Okay, maybe now it works. For some reason, it's not working. You know that it's kind of things that happen at the last minute. Oh, there's a very good reason it's not working. There's a very good reason it's not working. I'm gonna fix it ASAP. Gonna fix it like the nanny, the babysitter should know also about Photoshop, maybe, so she can Photoshop Meghan photos as well. That will be interesting. I need a nanny that knows Photoshop as well. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is working now. It's working now. Last minute of this thing that happened with technology. Okay, I'm here. I'm going to tell you first. Let's ask a couple questions. I'm going to ask these questions to see what do you think. To check my sound. Sometimes you have to. Some things are coming from this live streams. I don't want to talk too much, but I want to test more things and maybe some special guests. I don't know if this could work, but at some point, maybe I will have special guests. I hope so. But I'm going to talk about this picture in the sense of this. Okay, you see this area of the picture. This is what I thought was the most odd. In the sense that they are happy to see Meghan, right? Meghan is like the protagonist in that picture. I mean, if I stumble upon Ryan Reynolds, one of my favorite actors, I'm not gonna put him in the back, okay, like covered by everyone else. But Meghan is rather covered And even if you can see the legs and, for example, the purse of Jen, why do you have your purse open? That is not safe. Please, it is not a good idea. You can see their legs, but you cannot see Meghan's legs. And yes, at the same time, it's like her her arm is cut short. I mean, I'm always suspicious. I'm always suspicious when this happens. When you have only one picture of the event. Why am I always suspicious when there's only one picture of the event? Because it's much easier to just Photoshop one picture, right? And you just need one angle, and you just need to match very easy lighting in this case. When photos are taken at night, it is much easier to Photoshop people onto them because you just have to stand under a lamp or a light on the street that matches the angle, and that's it. It's much harder through the day because you have to match if it's cloudy or the angle of the sun, the angle of you in respect to the sun. It's much harder. So at night, if you want to make some kind of photoshopping, if you want to add yourself into a picture, if you want to pretend that you were at a place when you actually were not, that is a good idea. Doing it at night, making your friends take the picture at night, and then it will be far easier if they just make sure that the space that you're going to appear is rather tight. Tight, and that is what's happening here. That's what I don't know. I find it a bit hard to, maybe not hard to believe, but at least suspicious. In all cases, there's one thing that makes me believe that the photo is legit, and it's the similarity between the hair details of the socialite lady. Let me add a layer here so it's too big. This, all right. You see, 2 pixels will be fine. This detail here and this detail here, it could be all right. Maybe she actually was in the picture, but I still have that question. Why was she practically not in the picture? It's like, I mean, there's so much space in here. And at the same time, I'm going to tell you that you know that you can take pictures horizontally, right? You know that we used to take pictures horizontally. And you know that when you take a picture vertically, it's much harder to fit 4 persons in that picture. So let's pretend that Meghan was actually there. Let's say that Meghan was, that the picture is legit. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to name names, and I don't want to stop being a gentleman, but I try to say this in the less hurting way I can. Didn't it cross the girl's mind that since there were 4 of them, it would have been easier to take the picture, I don't know, horizontally? Wouldn't that be easier to fit all 4 people in the picture? I don't know. It's common sense. Then you can crop the picture whichever way you want. But it's so much space wasted in the background, and this picture is already what you're seeing here. This is already cropped. It has even more area in the upper part. So, I mean, that was strange. Maybe sometimes you can attribute to just incompetence. Maybe that is a not that harsh word, incompetence, and not malice. that is Hanlon's razor, heuristic that I live by. I usually think that people are just incompetent in some terms, not malice or trying to uh, scheme in some way. In Meghan's case, Meghan herself, it could be that she is scheming, but I don't know. I think this case is just in plain old incompetence. How are you going to take a picture of four people with your phone vertical? No, no, it's oh my god, girl, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's like maybe she's used to taking pictures of herself. Yeah, I saw her Instagram for research purposes. I am a professional, but it doesn't matter. But maybe she is used to that, right? To taking pictures vertically. So that's why Meghan barely fit in here, and very conveniently, no arms, no hands, no nothing, and just her face. We know this is at least Meghan's body, this pendant that she always has, and the sunglasses that she's always merching. Why is she wearing sunglasses? Why does she have her sunglasses uh, at night? Why does she has sunglasses with her? None of them have sunglasses with them. You know that they have like this kind of things, right? These kind of things that you can use to store your sunglasses, your glasses, so they don't um, trip over them, or they, since she uses them all the time, I guess that she cares about them. She must care about that brand. That'll be her favorite sunglasses. Why is she wearing sunglasses at night? That doesn't make much sense. Many things that I don't know, Rick. The only thing is that hair detail that is the same shade, the same exact the same color, but at the same time, the hair color of these two ladies, of Meghan and the other lady, is not the same hair color, so it should be a bit different. But I'm going to give it a pass. Anyway, I would like to know, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? About what we have seen so far, and in terms of the fine details, well, I could do a good Photoshop job like this if this was Photoshop. Not gonna say it was Photoshop, but too many details that look suspicious to me. And yes, Jiansu is completely and absolutely pushing this into the stratosphere. And thanks, by the way, I'm going to change my okay, thanks to the fake Duchess on X that made this very good discovery about Jiansu's book. Not an encounter by chance. This is nothing more than Meghan's desperate efforts to rebrand herself again and finally go from Z-list to A-list using Jiansu's roadmap to rebranding. Oh, Mexi, you only fooled yourself. We know those ladies are part of your PR team. But perhaps you know that we already saw the mother and daughter with Nacho yesterday. But what a coincidence, right? Like all these people hang together. And yes, Jiansu has a book that is actually literally named From Z to A-lister. How to build your personal brand. Yeah, that sounds exactly what Meghan needs right now. She needs a complete overhaul of her personal brand. And what is she going to morph? I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever. And let me see if I can. I'm going to test another of my. Let me see if I can change here. Okay, I here should appear the. All right. Let me change again. Maybe I could. All right. I just have to make sure that the widget that many reviews on Amazon. But that's what she does. And maybe she's hanging out with Meghan for this. This is a common. This is a collaboration. Maybe I'm going to I'm going to read your comments in a while. But now, this. You know that Megan Small, big shout out to Megan Small. Sadly, her channel on YouTube has been demonetized, that she's about to make this request to be monetized again. Let's hope that she makes it, that YouTube reconsiders their decision. But she made this question. She asked this question on Twitter. Harry and Meghan think they can give others advice on mental health and parenting advice. Would you take advice from an unstable addict and his equally unstable race-baiting wife? And yes, I missed a few words there, but I want to talk. I want to read. This is quite long. A comment from Mog1717. And before we go any further, I'm following Mog1717 now, by the way. Incredibly insight, worth a follow. If you are on Twitter, now called X, make sure to follow her, because this kind of insights is why we are there on Twitter sharing this. And I ask their permission to share this for you, and I'm going to read it aloud, because yeah, it's pretty much what we have been looking for, like a complete analysis of what is coming for Harry and Meghan. Okay, so make sure that you follow Mog1717 on Twitter. Here we go. This isn't about mental health or parenting advice, what they are going to do in New York. I think it's more complicated than that. And pardon my long commentary in advance. I think Team Sussexes, Harry, Meghan, and WME, their public relations agency, are unhappy with several of the latest narratives around them and are looking to bury or spin them. Here's what I think the things motivating this stunt are, what to watch for, and why I think it will flop. Number one, the revelations around the Harlem School event have been embarrassing and negative. Team Sussexes attempted to silence parents and teachers about it after they required temporary and superficial changes to a book reading at a school serving the city's poorest children to match M's aesthetic. And they had the nerve to ask for $5 from each child. They managed to turn one short visit into a toxic mix of exploitation, white savior complex, and totalitarianism, which is quite an achievement, just not great for the brand, whatever it is today. A digression, the footage didn't appear in H&M. Is it because in the Netflix documentary? Is it because the parents were pissed and they couldn't risk it? I bet that was the reason. They didn't want to start a PR nightmare. Maybe that contract that I analyzed here on another live stream prevented for anything, but the outrage that or the, how to say that, the noise that it will have provoked would have been very bad for their brand. But the contract leaked anyway, and here we are. So square one. Number two, a sponsor event on the dangers of social media on children's mental health is just a ticket to counter negative press around Archwell's push for censorship in Australia. It's an attempt to make the revelation of Archwell's involvement in a Commonwealth country's regulation seem less sinister. That rather than a privileged and elite class using the levers of government to stifle information and individuals they don't like, this is a noble cause. It's all for the children. Narrator, it isn't. Yeah, it is not. It's for the benefit of the Archwell and Meghan's brand. Number three, both the Invictus Games and the Costner event appearances were deservedly mocked. Cringe-worthy fashion parades for Meghan and craven attention grabs for them both. Look for her to cosplay a serious thought leader complete with monogram leather portfolios and briefcases and serious hair. She'll be copying the recent appearances of other royal women who have done decades of less splashy and self-serving work were given throughout September. I think Meghan will either wear a suit or her Rachel look from Suits. Suits, not just because Catherine has been wearing suits. That's always a consideration. But because Leticia, Mary, and Rania have fully embraced the trend with Victoria being the OG suit boss. Suits because she thinks it made her look smart and accomplished. And so many things, so many sugar saying, but Meghan knows about the law. She works on suits. Yeah, this is the room temperature IQ that we are talking about. Meghan hopes a change of costume, hairstyle, and a bought crowd will equate her to a respected and powerful royal woman. To quote Cher Horowitz from Clueless, as if. Number 3, and this is we are getting into the good part. Everything is good, but this is the better part. She wants a redo in New York. Every visit they've made to New York City has been a debacle. Every single one. This is already long, so I won't detail all the failure. Just trust me on this. William just slayed in New York. He got rapturous press coverage, praise from billionaires and tycoons, and looked like a world leader. Neither of these realities can be tolerated by Meghan. Having an event in New York City where William just was is a calculated attempt to put them in the same frame as William. I agree. As a communications expert of many years, I agree with Mog's appreciation. They've parachuted into an already sold-out event with already committed A-listers to look as powerful as he is. And yes, that's why they are at 1:30 p.m. Their audience will be filled with carefully selected attendees. The Archewell sponsorship means they bought and control the tickets, and it will be managed within an inch of its life. And holding absolute control over tickets means press they don't like can be kept out of the event. But there will be AstroTurf crowds arranged everywhere they are seen to make them seem wildly popular. Expect plenty of crowd-size comparisons. And the best part for us is that the way that Archewell can make use of this is that it's going to be footage of this. If there is no footage of this, photos, pictures, but actual footage of this, it's not like someone with a vertical recording phone recording. A professionally recorded video. Then we will have plenty of body language stuff to analyze, unless they are using some kind of substances to adjust their body language on the fly. Oh my God. Attorneys are going to pull my ears. Jesus, what are you saying? What is this? Continue. They want to outdo William's last visit and be seen in New York City with throngs of people. I for 1 minute, I'm glad I'm using my glasses, but because I thought that it said be seen in New York City with thongs, and oh my God, that is something that I am not going to ask Midjourney for an image of that. With throngs of people, I guarantee that she wants to try and shore up their absurd chase claims with visuals of them surrounded by worshipful crowds and dozens of paparazzi. By the way, I had an image of that right here. I forgot to show it to you. I generated one image for the super car chase. There it is. This is something absolutely made up, but very fitting for the car chase number 2 that is going to happen. I'm sure that people have reached out to see if Major Adams will meet with them to push the false cancel meeting with William story and to undercut Adams, calling them out for the near catastrophic chase. Adams is just enough of an ethically challenged fame or alternately a modern politician, of course, to take them up on it, though kneecapping his police union and the displeasure he already got from the British delegation over his premature meeting announcement might be enough to get him to take a pass. Excellent. Fingers crossed. I concur completely. Look for a dinner with a fabulous friends and some sort of down-to-earth moment to counter William's run in the park. It will be Harry running the marathon in the park. I made that picture as well. Let me see if I can Look for it really quickly. Oh, right here. I should have it handy. Oh, there's Harry. There's Harry. Let some music here playing. I know this technical things, this technical stuff sometimes starts all of a sudden. Let me see. Let me continue. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. How can I stop? Make sure that this stops. That is the kind of music that I use while I'm working. So we continue. Sorry about the interruption. Look for a dinner with a fabulous friends, and they run in the park. They want to emulate the William running in the park. That there were no pictures of William running in the park. There was just a headline and 2 lines of article, and that's it. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they make a secret visit to the school again that gets leaked by a parent or a teacher, or a trip with their own kids. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. No, 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 no. I put my money on that not happening. In tow spotted at the Central Park Zoo. Oh my god. Are they pandas? The Central Park Zoo? They should be alongside the pandas. Yeah. And bet they stay someplace fabulous. For the pandas, black and white, biracial. It's everything in the little details. And bet they stay someplace fabulous to clap back at the Carlisle. Oh, yes, maybe Hotel Carter. If you are from New York, Hotel Carter. Oh my God, this is one of my favorite legends of the city. Number 4, they desperately need control positive press, and she can't go long without attention. Their panel is being moderated by Carson Daly, super coincidentally represented by WME. And you believe that I hear there is a great deal on London Bridge right now. Daly is one of the biggest practitioners of the suck-up interview there is, the type to agree to pre-approved questions. A celebrity and social media interviewer, not a journalist. He's not gonna ask the hard questions. You can count on every question to be advancing some narrative or clapping back on something Am is chaffed over. Yeah, many times over. I can see a question designed. This is brilliant. I can see a question designed to counter the suspicions that her recent weight loss was from Ozempic. Something like, isn't physical health an essential component of mental health? Oh, what's your personal approach to that? And that will follow from Am is a word salad around healthy diet and eating, with a self-deprecating anecdote about the occasional fast food indulgence. This is my problem with this is that we should have made this, I don't know, private or something, or in an envelope or something, to just open that and the day after it happens, because this is on cue for the script. This is going to happen, and I don't want Meghan to be changing anything just because we are addressing this. And yes, many people were reading Mog's thread on Twitter, and with exercise and stress relief, and with many like 1,000 stickers of street relieving stickers all around Meghan, like a big beehive of stress relieving stickers all around Meghan. She will think she has absolutely put an end to the old talk, authenticated her desperate thirst trap pap shots, and established her wellness grads. Mog, you are putting my English to the test. Choosing Daly guarantees that they will be featured during the Today Show, probably the morning after the event, ensuring at least 2 days of glowing coverage for them and the prestige of a national morning show appearance. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is Christmas. This is early Christmas for me. Make no mistake, it's all bought and paid for and arranged by WME. Number 5. Now, I told you this was magnificent. Remember to follow Mog1717 on Twitter. Nobody believes that Archewell is anything but a front, and nobody takes their philanthropy claims seriously. Their press releases already have co-opted the entire event with talk about Archewell sponsoring it. Only those who are paying attention know it's just one panel telling themselves that they are paying for. Would anyone be surprised if it's disclosed later that the funds came from a better op or community fund grant funneled through Archwell? Oh my God, what a scandal would it be? But what is the problem? You need attention right now. You need anything else. You are in the bottom of the barrel. You have no choice. You need to stay current, relevant, and you will do anything to do it because it's that kind of emergency. Their involvement received zero promotion before yesterday, just days before an event that probably took a year to pull together. Lazy journals and those in the back for the Sussexes will spin like tops for them. They will cover it like Archwell is the sponsor of the entire event and a respected player in the space. Narrator. That's a hard no on both. They will also claim it was sold out, which will be suspicious. So just as Harry and Meghan buy awards, they are buying a conference so they can say they are mental health leaders. So that's the next step for Meghan. Mental health. She had to borrow that one for Harry, which in turn borrowed that one from William and Catherine. Well, borrow, no, it's not the right word, right? Stole. Stole is the right word. It's not like you can steal the topic, but it's blatant. Copying, being a copycat about that. It's just how it is. Number 6, the social engagement on articles about either or both of the Sussexes has been dropping steadily all year and crater around the Heart of Invictus trailer. Articles aren't being shared or liked, and comments are way down. Heart of Invictus flopped hard. The timing of this event is absolutely designed to insert themselves into the same coverage as William and Catherine's efforts this month. Besides being petty, it's really cynical. Riding on the whale's coattails will allow them to pull their numbers up with mentions of the far more popular couple. That's another thing. That's another strategy that you use to confuse the media. Like it's something happening at the same time, and you coattail, that is the perfect word, on the whatever William and Catherine are doing, and especially the imitation of what they are doing. Catherine and William have multiple engagements all week and month, and there will be a group of journalists that insert this one purchase event, like all the rest of their philanthropic efforts, into every account of the whale's work. Keep an eye out for it. It will be in story after story. They start talking about William and Catherine, they will immediately make a bait and switch to the articles. I am not surprised about that. This happens all the time, and that is what these mainstream media people are going to do. For what it's worth, I predict this latest rebrand will fail because people's opinions of both Harry and Meghan seem to have hardened. Their numbers have basically been the same for 18 months, and there isn't a big undecided pull any longer to move to their column. Harry and Meghan are no longer likable or relatable. The constant claims of rebranding have made them jokes. They have no credibility in the mental health field, and the less said about parenting and families, the better. There is a saying in advertising that the research can be top-notch, the packaging fabulous, the budget enormous, and the ad campaign award-winning, but if the dogs don't eat the dog food, none of it will matter. Profits will fall and everyone will get fired. This also has to do with what I told you about, which is one of the pillars, the most important principles of marketing. How are you positioning your brand? What are you good for? What is the brand? What is the value that you're bringing people? And why do people care about your value and your brand? Is your soap bar for smelling good or for cleaning, or has to be one of them, maybe protecting your skin? But you have to position your brand in a way that people hear about you and they instantly form this idea in their minds. That is positioning. You have to pick that. You have to make that decision. Have to choose how to position your brand in people's minds. Now, my question is, what do people think about when someone says Meghan Markle, that is not a grifter? I think that is the first thing that most people think about. She is not authentic. There's always like an intention to escalate or climb this social ladder in one way or another. That's what it is my guess. I would like to know if you are in the comments. Please make your bets. I think they are positioned in. I think when I think of Meghan, I use the word "thing" so I can look for your comments afterwards. When I think of Meghan, I think of what is the first thing? What is the first thing that comes to mind? Yeah, I'm getting to the limit of my English abilities. Okay, they have no credibility. Okay, the packaging. Okay, everyone will get fired. There are two other sayings that apply to this rebranding effort. You can't make a silk purse from a sow's ear. Always tail, and stop trying to make fetch happen. Tina Fey's in Mean Girl. Spot on. Number 3, what happens at the event itself? Both have revealed themselves at this sort of spotlight events, and not in a good way. Harry proves he's entitled, out of touch, unprepared, and frankly, dumb. The dumb prince, you know? He also cites outmoded platitudes and hints at his own shame negative judgment about mental health struggles. He's done it over and over, and it's discrediting. That is the problem, that there's no progression. Okay, in which way what worked for you can work for other people? In this case, that will be nice. Okay, I want to talk about everybody knows my story. I wrote a book. No, sorry. Someone wrote a book for me to tell my story. Now I want to use those lessons learned to help other people. But if all you do is to tell your story again and why mental health is important, that doesn't help anyone. That is the big difference between a lousy nonfiction book and a good nonfiction book. For example, if there was a nonfiction book about mental health, a lousy one would be from beginning to end, this is why mental health is important. Okay? Sounds similar to what Meghan and Harry say all the time. Mental health is important, but a good mental health book would say how to reach a good mental health, how to be mentally healthy, how do you go from A to B, and what are the steps that I have to take to reach that state. Maybe there's a specific, of course, has to be rather specific, has to be mental health in teens and social media. There's a way, there's a process. How to do it? What are the steps? Tell me what I have to do, and tell me in a way that I can understand it, and in the steps that I can follow easily. Those are the books that really shine. But Harry and Meghan are stuck in that, mental health is important. That's all what they say over and over again. I'm still trying to practice the South Park Meghan's LA accent. I'm going to use it. At some point, I will be using the Meghan LA South Park accent, but it's just like that Valley Girl accent. I will be using it. Promise. Continue. Remember to follow Mog1717 on Twitter. Meghan does more prep. Probably too much. She's often over-rehearsed. But her focus is always on her own personal agenda and not the one in front of her. She memorizes platitudes, rambles in word salads, plagiarizes, and is really not good at spontaneous conversation. She's so hungry for attention that she starts to act manic, like like those mask slips. She pushes herself forward, hogs the mic. With increasing frequency over the past year, her mask drops during the appearance, and it's not a good look. They both take credit publicly for things that they didn't do. Both tend to make up anecdotes to either establish credibility or make themselves likable or important. Neither of them, they fail miserably. And because they're both so public, people spot the lies immediately. Yeah, people can smell that. It, it's it's really easy. You can see right through it. And insert Joe's theme here. She goes rogue. Uvalde comes to mind. Yeah, she tries to do whatever she pleases. I'm going to do this. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do this even if it's a really bad idea. That in fact that sounds a lot like me in that regard. That she goes rogue. Yeah, I have no bosses. I do whatever I want with my shows, but well, I try to follow my positioning, my brand, right? Not do some kind of how to say this. It's like I am not trying to pretend anything I am not. That is the big thing. And this has to do with being authentic and whether if you have to be humble or you have to be or you prefer to be. Sometimes you have the bragging rights. You need to use the bragging right. As Catherine, you know how to play the piano. Play the piano in public. What is the problem? You have the bragging rights. Use them. You have to be like that. But it will be different. It would be different if you claim something that you are not, just to impress people. In so many ways, we have seen that with the articles happening over and over again. That is the problem. Or, for example, a good example is all this around all this hypocrisy around climate change. For example, when they said, "Oh, your carbon footprint this, your carbon footprint that," and then you fly on private jets everywhere. You don't fly commercial, so that's hypocritical. So a person that doesn't claim about all this stuff, it won't be as wrong, so to speak, if they fly in a jet because they are not. Oh, I want to make a change in the world about carbon emission and stuff, but at the same time I fly in private jets. No, that is not the way. Either you do one thing or do the other thing, but both at the same time, you're just a hypocrite. For those paying attention, difference between the couple and the whales couldn't be more stark, and competing directly with them at the same time brings that in full view. The whales have spent almost a decade of study, focus, and consistent leadership with the intent of bringing attention to issues and getting key support for solutions and support groups and care. In this, they follow with the example of Prince Philip, I guess that is Prince Philip, King Charles, and members of royalty throughout the world. Slow and steady and a soft application of power and connections. The Sussexes parachute into a high-profile event, throw money around, and put themselves above those who have worked in the sector for years to bring attention to themselves, behaving like trophy wives, tech bros, and confidence men. They suck all the air out of the room, exploit the event, and fly off to the next new thing. Yeah, that is the big problem. And it comes from anxiety and desperation. You haven't built the how to say that when you're building the cimientos en español. That's the name. The foundations. You haven't built the foundations of what you're going to work with your brand. As Mark says here, the whales have done it for a decade, slow and steady until you are positioned in something and you stay right there. Okay? You have the Airshot Prize. You have the early life. What Catherine does with with children, and of course the mental health part. And you just stay there. It's not easy, but you have to be patient. You have to act fast, but you have to be patient with the outcome because it's gonna take years. Okay, it's always gonna take years. It took me years to study all that I know on behavior and body language and all this stuff. It took me years to understand how this social media communications can be used to spread that message. And it also took me years to be to the point that I can say, okay, I can make these YouTube videos, I can make these live stream videos with some confidence, trying to not taking myself too seriously. But yes, it has taken me literally decades to be where I am. So I would not say that this is not. Maybe I did not know the complete journey from start to end. That is impossible. But I kept failing forward, which is the best approach to this. You just have to fail forward because you don't know how are going to be things in 1 year or 5 years or 10 years. You just have to do things right now. And William and Catherine, that's what they did. Meghan and Harry just think that since they are famous, they can just jump in any topic that they want. And no, that doesn't work that way. You just cannot buy that expertise, that positioning. I mean, how come? No, that doesn't work that way. That worked for Meghan back then when she wanted to be positioned as a philanthropist or an activist. And she made those couple trips to Africa, took all the pictures with the children, made sure to keep all those pictures and all those videos. And yeah, she is an activist now because she has proof, because she was not as famous back then. She was not as scrutinized back then. And that is why they are desperate right now. They have built nothing. Last slide. So while I guess I admire the audacity at work here by WME, I don't think it's going to work. That's a lot to pin in one visit. I pity the poor minions who did all this good work and who will get screamed at when it fails to deliver on M's unsatisfiable expectations. And the word today is that it's another new team of victims. Hopefully, WME has a wellness hotline in their benefits package. Maybe they can hire some coaches from Better Up. Of course, it's perfect. Oh my God, I am so brilliant that sometimes I wonder why I am not, I don't know, in a working at SpaceX or NASA or something. It's perfect. Why haven't anyone thought about this? Archwell, WME, they need Better Up coaches. Well, they're I don't know, 600 an hour or so pay. They must be good for that. The benefits package. Thoughts and prayers for the new team. Thoughts and prayers. Past is prologue, folks. Think this will go the way of all their other resets, but it will be interesting to watch and see how it unfolds. The founding members of the House of Sussexes are many things, but they're rarely dull. And yes, we will be there to see what are they up to. Let's read your super chats. And I'll read your super chats. Dusty's girl. How many times can she rebrand herself? I think one can rebrand oneself many times. That is my opinion. Maybe not rebrand, but let's say, well, to be fair, I find it hard to think of a person that has rebranded herself as many times as Meghan. But in that regard, I have to tell you, and I've said it many times, and I've said that time we made a live stream of Meghan's rebranding, talking about according to Taz. Glad that according to Taz has sorted out all that was going on with her throat. I'm glad that you're better, Taz. With that rebranding, that's something that I admire, not only in Meghan, in any person who has this ability to adapt to the circumstances. I have done it myself. I used to rebrand like every 4 years. I change course, like completely burn my ships and change course in the ways that I cannot describe. Yeah, I have told you I've been a graphic designer, illustrator, writer, um, Twitter troll as well, work on social media marketing, so many things. Yeah, to some extent, it's I've had the trouble saying I'm only this, and it's like my mind, no, you are not that. You are Jesus Enrique Rosas. You're not just a writer or a musician, or that's the trouble that I've had. And I've always made the example, mentioned the example of Metallica, for example, Lars Ulrich, the drummer, who many say that he has sold himself to all kind of he has not been faithful to the thrash metal of the origins. But the problem is that times change. Times change and one has to adapt. Thrash metal had this era that was magnificent for metal and that kind of protest music. But it's over, man. It's over. And you have to realize sometimes it's like you get to the top of what you can do at a certain field and you say, hey, I just have to move on to another thing because I reached the ceiling. Okay, I could talk about Metallica all day, by the way. And if you're watching this and you're a fan of Metallica, it's like James Hetfield said when they were going to do the Black Album that completely changed under Bob Ross. They changed completely. Many people said they sold themselves to this music complex, but what are they going to do after Justice for All? It's like James Hetfield said, what are we going to do? We're going to do 2 songs, one per side of the record, the vinyl. So we cannot do anything more than that. And Justice for All, we have to change. And that is good. We realize it's the moment to change. And yes, it's hard because in many, many ways, you have to start from zero. And it's a very humbling moment as you realize that you were very successful in some things and you all of a sudden have to start from scratch, zero. You are a novice. And that happened to me a couple of years ago when I have to completely rebrand myself from, let's say, a more corporate field to a more personal brand field. It was a very humbling experience. I had to, yes, realize that I could not be, I had to be a novice again. And I'm here. The transformation was worth it because I found things about me that I wanted to do that I was just suppressed because, oh no, that's not the right thing. That's not how we do things here. You have to be corporate. You have to be self-aware. You have to be serious all the time. You cannot be, oh, no. I'm going to be a novice. I'm going to say, this is the way that I want to do things, and I'm going to transform in the next step. So this rambling is important because it applies to every single one of you. Oh my God, almost 2,500 Royal Rogues watching now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Rumble. It applies to every single one of us. And it's a good thing. I want you to understand, and I say this over and over again, that not because Meghan has reinvented herself 4 or 5 times or not 7 times, I don't know, that is a bad thing. That is actually a good thing. That means that you're adapting to your circumstances. I don't defend Meghan's character. I don't defend Meghan as a person, but I defend the way that she has transformed her brand to adapt to the circumstances. That she has used that for the wrong reasons, that's another thing. But try to extract that because, yeah, that is a good thing. That is a good thing, adapting to your circumstances. So, continue. Just why have I been silenced, Jesus? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to check real time if you have been silenced. That's something I can check in here. Let me see. If you give me just a minute, that is, I want to check on that. just in case. Just in case. No, you are not silenced. I have a rather short list of accounts, Shas, that of sugars mainly, that come here to wreak havoc, but not that many. In fact, no, not that many. You're not here. You're not silenced. Maybe it's maybe some kind of word. Maybe YouTube sometimes censors some kind of words. Maybe you said something and YouTube didn't like it. That is a possibility. But I haven't censored anybody unless they deserve it. Kelly McVeigh, thank you. Fantastic tonight, Jesus. Great live. Yeah, so far a lot of content. We had to talk a lot today, Kelly. That's why it has been a bit longer. And I wanted to catch up with you, maybe answer some of your questions. Heather, why didn't you write in your super chat something? Oh, you did not write anything else. Let me see, just to check. Why Heather? Oh, Heather also said Meghan Markle. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my God, Meghan is fast food. That is so poetic. I think I could write a haiku with that. Meghan is fast food. I'm going to remember that. Oh, I'm going to remember that. If the two went to work not for 15 minutes at a fast food place, the restaurant would be gangbusters. Yeah, I agree with you, Heather. Let's see. Next super chat. Dusty's girl, I agree with you. Taking decades to learn and gain experience is work. M is allergic to work. Yeah, that's the thing, that you cannot fake it till you make it forever. You have to put in the hours, the work. You have to do the thing. It is not enough to be famous. Let me see some of your questions. I'm going to, first of all, what do you think when you think of Meghan? I think fake, says a small person. What do you think when you think of Meghan? Says a small person. Karen says, I think of bad parents. Let me change this slide. So remember to follow. Thanks, Mog, for your insights. Let's change to maybe this picture. The picture that they put of Meghan, for an article talking about Meghan being, the star in LA, but they had to use a picture when Meghan was a working royal. Yeah, right. Think of bad parents. Oh my God, you have some comments. Some comments. Yeah, I also thought about that, Susan. That this photo was not recent. She looked way too young, but you know that this every camera now has this filter that you can look young with the skin can be a bit smoother and all that stuff you see nowadays. Maybe it's that. Could it be? The mental health initiative, I think, was originally Catherine's idea. Marilyn Wade, yeah, but my memory fails, but it was. You remember that it was Heads Together. I always remember this Heads Together, a picture of William, Catherine, and Harry. I'll look for it right now. That's the perks of this new system that I have. The only thing that I cannot do is to write and talk at the same time. I think that is impossible. Heads Together. It's not like was Catherine's idea, but was the Royal Foundation's part of the Royal Foundation, and I'm sure that it was even before that. I'm not sure of what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure that it was at least the Royal Foundation as is. See now, when you think about Megan, you think of a personality disorder. Yeah, narcissistic personality disorder. I think of fraud. Well, Megan said that herself. I'm such a fraud. I think of bowling pins. What is that? Oh my God! When you think of Megan, you think of bowling pins. Is there a joke in there that I'm not getting? I want to understand. I think of use them and lose them. Oh, I agree. I think liar as well, or maybe you mean liar, arch well. Well, that's a nice way of spinning the words. Uh, I think narc alert. Yeah, many things that we can think about when that is the way that she has been. She has not positioned her brand like that, but this is what people are seeing. This is what people see. That is the thing about Megan. I think that is the content I had for today. Let me check. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh my God, let me see if you have any other questions. I'm going to look for one question. I want to look for one question. Let's see. If I can. Okay. Have a question mark. Okay. In regards to it is being a vertical photo that I said, no, it's a vertical photo. No, it should have been a horizontal picture. Maybe it's artsy fartsy to show a diagonal image. No, I think it's just plain. Well, the diagonal is nice, but no, I think it still is a miss. It's incompetence to take a vertical picture when it should have been a horizontal. But well, Nutmeg's sunglasses were not reflected her friend's clothes patterns. No, maybe the angle. I will as having studied light and how it works when I was working on 3D modeling, I'm going to give Megan's sunglasses a pass, not reflecting things around. Well, oh, that is interesting as well. For example, the shadows. I'm gonna take another look afterwards. All right. Let me see. Okay. Some of you were talking about the music. Oh, the music was sounding. All right. Am I a bot? No, I am not a bot. I will be too complex to be. Oh, there were trolls on here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do something here. I'm going to. They know there were trolls. There were no mods tonight. I'm sorry about that. There were no mods tonight. I'm sorry that there were no mods. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna assign add as a mod. Okay. I'm gonna add Jenny as a Jenny, welcome as a mod. I just added you as a mod. I know you will do a great job blocking the mods. There was Lemon Trifle as well around, but maybe they arrived a bit late. But yes, let me see. I'm sorry about the trolls. I've got a few mods, but my mods are absolutely do this for art's sake. And sometimes the trolls come in and they are just, of course, I guess that they are enjoying as well. What's a mob? Well, a mob is when they begin attacking me on the chat. And by the way, Uh, the chat. I tried to open that. You just have to subscribe to chat. You can be you subscribe and you instantly can chat, and there's no the limit of the amount of messages that you can send at any given point. So that also I don't want. I have experience with slow mode, so you can only send a message every few uh, seconds, but that hasn't worked well. One last question. One last question. Oh my God, 1 hour and a quarter, but still close to 2,500 Royal Rogues. You really love this show, and I thank you for that. I thank you for staying here and so being uh so loyal to the Royal Rogue. I'm gonna show you. This is what Midjourney thinks the Royal Rogue looks like. Oh, let me see. Let me see. And question. I have this question as well. How is it that their segment is sold out when they were not even on the poster as attending until later? Sold out. You know that paper can you can write anything on paper and that will be okay. I think they put sold out to make it seem like, hey, this is gonna be real fun. It's gonna be amazing. But okay, how was people notified? How was regular people notified about this? So yeah, they are effectively controlling the audience. They cherry picked the audience to suit their needs, and that's what's gonna happen that day. But we will have footage, and the Royal Rogue, not this Royal Rogue, this Royal Rogue is gonna be there to analyze all that body language and all that stuff. My Royal Rogues, when will you do another live? I will be doing another live tomorrow. I will keep doing these lives for at least one more week. I still have let's say technical details that I can work on to make even better live streams. I want to make, for those of you that miss the shorter videos, I'm going to compartmentalize these topics so I release them in shorter videos. For example, the analysis or the topic of MOG 1717, I will be releasing as a standalone video, so you can watch only that part as a single video later. I see many creators doing this. They do a live, an actual live, or some say that it's live, but they don't react to comments or anything. So they are not just live, it's something that is pre-recorded. But I'm going to publish these topics as a standalone video. So for those of you that still like the shorter videos, I will be publishing them for you to enjoy. Thanks for your preference. Thanks for staying here. And my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And until we meet on another video or another live, remember the two most important words: much love and bliss. Take care, my Royal Rogues. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.